Well, the death of 21 teenagers at the Enyobeni Tavern has highlighted that we are in many ways failing our children, from lax control at places that allow underage drinking and in some cases also sell drugs, to insufficient recreational facilities, as you've just heard, and a lack of psychological support. Youngsters are really vulnerable. Let's discuss this now with Terence Makalanisa, the Central Rand Director for eNCA, the National Council on Alcohol and Drugs. Terence, thank you so much for your time. I wonder if you could talk to us a little bit about what our young children are facing in terms of alcohol and drugs. We know that youngsters, teenagers, by their very nature, are wanting to explore, do dangerous things, break the rules. But would you say it's a more dangerous environment than ever before at the moment, or has this always been really difficult?
Yeah, let's just perhaps stay there. Good evening to you and your viewers. Alcoholism in South Africa, it's a something that has been coming on for quite a long time, and I'm surprised that we are talking about it now like it hasn't been a problem. It has really been one of those problems that the country has been facing, and I think we were shy to speak about some of the issues that we are facing, and now we are seeing this going to our children as well. But it has been a long time coming.
We've also seen a lot of really interesting comments coming out. We've seen criticism of parents. I think the police minister as well was also part of that criticism. Is it as simple as parents stepping up and controlling their children's habits and their movements?
No, this is a complex matter. At the end of the day, it's what society, does. If you go around our communities, these days, you will see that, older people are going around, drinking in public, holding their beers, their favorite, drinks, and children are watching. Children are associating this as a norm, something that, happens, and, they idolize these older people that are doing, this. I have been in this, eNCA for the past 22 years. And I haven't seen what we are seeing in our communities, like I've seen, now recently, where our people, our children in particular, are also copying what we actually have seen a couple of years ago. They are walking around, moving around with this bottle, of beer. So it is more of a community, issue than we can term it as a home issue, a parental, issue only. Obviously, it starts, there. It starts in the home. But if the community around these children, it's such, that everyone in their neighborhood is doing exactly what they are doing. And, it doesn't matter how much you can do as a parent, but these children of ours go to the same schools with, the neighbor school. They play with the same neighbors, children. So this I see more as a community and societal, issues. And South Africa quickly needs to confront this issue, not as only a government issue or a parent issue or a child issue, but all of us as a collective need to come up with a proper plan to be able to deal with what we are dealing with now.
The president today also said that it's shocking that there are 2,000 taverns in Scenery Park and nowhere near enough sport and recreational facilities for young people. Is that also part of the problem?
It has been, the biggest problem. I suppose when you look at the socioeconomic issues of South Africa, everyone trying to survive, alcohol, the taverns, as well as other, drug dens, that we find in our communities, are perpetuated also by that, socioeconomic, issues. It is not a surprise that we find as many, taverns and shebeens that we find in our communities. It is because purely people are also trying to survive, and therefore our children have nowhere else to go, because in front of their school premises, there is a shebeen, in front of their home, there is a shebeen. Every, in the actual sense, in every street corner, there is a, shebeen. So now what do we say about our children? Where should they play? Where should they go? It needs to start, there. We need to start regulating this more often.
We've seen the police minister saying that he's going to, expect firm action against those responsible. Fingers, of course, are being pointed at the tavern owners, saying that they have to accept responsibility for allowing underage drinkers in. There's also, and the president is supporting now, a national debate on raising the legal drinking age to 21. Do you think that will help, bearing in mind that we currently aren't even stopping kids under 18 from drinking?
I think literature have shown it, and I think we have debated this for quite a number of, years. And I think when we were dealing with the, Act 70 of 2008, which is the Prevention and Treatment of Substance Abuse Act, these were some of, the discussions. But if we say we are going to raise it, what are we actually saying? Would we be able to stop them to go to this, shebeens, to these taverns, as well? So in my opinion, it may not help because as it is, we've got 10-year-olds that are on alcohol, and nothing is deterring them to go to, buy this, alcohol. We don't know where they find them, but I think we need to first take stock, in terms of what could be the problems that we are facing and what could be, perpetuating the problem that we are actually having. So I think we need, the community assessment, as well. The prevention model actually says to us that we need to start there. We need to go into our communities. We need to speak to our communities. We need to understand from them exactly what is there that is actually happening. Why is what is happening at this particular moment, so that we can come up with tangible solutions that are sustainable in the future. So just raising the alcohol, the age may not be the answer, only. It may be, but not necessarily the answer.
Yeah, can't be seen in isolation. As you say, it's a very complex issue. Thank you so much for chatting to us this evening. That was Terence Makana-Nisa from the SA National Council on Alcoholism and Drug Dependence.